Alright, it's time for a long overdue video. This motorcycle here has been under the covers for 2 years. I did not take it out last year because, well, it was 2020, what do you want? So, I need to take it out because it doesn't deserve to sit in the corner. I'll tell you the story about this motorcycle. It is a 1977 Suzuki GS 550. Alright. It's a long story. Right out of high school, I had a roommate that moved out and he owed me some money. Rent, electric, you know, all that crap. So, about a year later, he and I met up at a bar. And he tosses me the keys. Okay? He goes, "Hey, Harvey. He tosses them to me. He says, "It's yours." I said, "Well, what is it?" And I look closer and it's a Suzuki. He goes, "It's my motorcycle." Technically, it was his brother's motorcycle, and he had to sell it for his brother because his brother went into the military. Anyway, so that's how I got the bike. But then I got married and I had to pay for a wedding. So I sold the motorcycle to a friend of mine. And he proceeded to do power stands, and the chain broke, whipped around, and put a hole in the bottom of the crankcase. Oh, by the way, I'm putting a battery in it, in case you were wondering. So anyway, he blew up the engine, oil everywhere, just killed it. So, it was about that time I moved down the South Milwaukee, Cudahy area, actually, and I didn't hang around with them anymore. Anyway, so about 2 years later, the son of a coworker told me he was selling his motorcycle, and this was the bike, and I bought it from him for, I think, $800, some crap like that. So I was just editing this video, and I realized I didn't do a very good job of explaining something to you. The guy I sold it to broke the chain. It went underneath, put a hole in the engine. The guy I bought it from in Milwaukee told me he swapped the engine out. The one that was in here was bad. He had one laying around. He took it out of another motorcycle he had, and he put it into this one. So that's how, this is a different engine than the one that was in there from 1988 to 1993. So I hope that clears it up a little bit for you. I'll get you back to where you were. So $800, that was back in 1990. 3. So yeah, it was gone out of my possession for 5 years. So, and I did not think or know that this was the same motorcycle I had back in 1988 when I got married. It was just the same kind of motorcycle. I lost the nut for my battery. So, 2015, I decided to do a restoration of sorts on this bike. Tore it completely down, left the motor in the I didn't do anything with the engine or the drivetrain. But everything else got repaired, replaced, cleaned, lubed, you name it, and a new paint job. So, when I was doing the restoration, I discovered that, well, let me take you back a little bit. When I had the motorcycle, before I sold it to my friend, I had broken the ignition key. And what I did was I put a toggle switch underneath the seat. I hot wired it, so you would have to take the key, unlock the seat, flip the switch, and start it up, off you go. So again, that's how it was when I sold it. And he blew up the engine. So all these years later, 2015, I'm restoring this motorcycle, have it completely tore apart. And what do I find is, and I'd love to show you on camera, but the wires are up underneath the gas tank that I cut to splice in to do the switch with. And it worked really well. So I took it apart, and here it is, the same wires are cut and spliced and then taped back together as the ones I cut when I owned the motorcycle, you know, all those years earlier in 1988, 86, 88. So, turns out, this is the same motorcycle that I had and sold before my wedding. And the reason I know this is because of the wiring harness issue. And that was just proof. So, amazing. Did not know that. But I love this bike. It's been sitting too long. I want to start it up. That's an AGM battery. They say don't charge them, so I'm not gonna. Got power. Got choke. Fuel. I think I have to go to reserve. Actually. Okay, doesn't smell bad. Any bets? Neutral, start. Oh, 2 years. Nice. Up a little bit. So, I don't care when you want to ride this bike. The startup procedure is exactly the same, and it takes at least 3 or 4 minutes for it to warm up before you can really get up and go on it. If it's been sitting overnight, same deal. You need the same 2 or 3 minute warm up every time on this bike. So now, got her running. Sounds good. I am going to clear a pathway. Got these 3 guys all in the way, and the mower. Well, you know my junk. So, let me try and get it out of here. Alright, give me a quick little tour here. '77 Suzuki GS. So again, on this motorcycle, anything that's red, I would like someday to be chromed. I'm too damn cheap to get it chromed. So, I need to check the air tire pressure and double check the oil level before I take it out for a ride. Check the chain. Make sure it's safe. How many miles? 24,000. Alright. That's nice. Here, let me see if I can show you this. Yeah. You can kind of see the wiring harness right up in here. But the splice I'm talking about is actually up inside that cover. So, 100% sure that's my bike. That is so cool. So this year, I'm going to change things up. The first thing I'm going to do, well, is wash it, of course. But here I have this. Wah, wah, wah. Rust. Let me see if I'll focus on my finger. So I got a little bit of rust going on in the tank. Not bad. I'm going to definitely drive it around. And I'm going to use POR 15 on that tank. And when I do that tank, I'm also going to do this tank here. It's such a small tank. So I'm going to be doing 2 tanks. I don't know if I'm going to make a video of that. Maybe. Well, I've already done the POR 15 gas tank video. I'll put a link. So, alright. I'm going to take this thing out for a ride. I'll bring you back. Alright. Got the tires filled up with air. The oil level was down about half a quart, surprisingly. I've never had to add oil to this bike before, so that was strange. Here's the bummer part. My rear tire is not good. So, I am not going to ride it till I get a new back tire. I got the chain all looped up, so that's looking good. So, there you go. That is what it is. I'll take it for a test ride after I buy a new tire. Bye-bye.